This is Russ. Yeah, I'm back out on the road again. Yeah, I think this is the third time out today. What time is it? 4:17 p.m. Why am I doing out so late? Well, I kind of figured I needed to go out. And the reason is because we don't get this kind of weather all the time. Yeah, it's like 70 degrees out right now. Yeah, my ideal weather conditions. Now, it is a little windy today, it has been. And so I apologize if you still hear any wind noise. I've been thinking about equipment lately. As you know, I did a video where I talked about maybe I need to upgrade my audio equipment. Yeah, the more I think about it, the more I'm pretty convinced I need to do it. Yeah, it's gonna cost some money, but you know, if you want to get good results, you have to put in the money. Now, my audio has always been pretty good. Most people have told me this before. I tend to agree. It's always been pretty good. But lately, it's been some times where I've recorded and things just did not come out the way I liked it to come out. And I don't know what is causing that. More than likely cables. But so anyway, I think I'm going to make the investment and get some better audio gear. Now, on the last video, I talked about the possibility of different options, getting two microphones, a receiver, maybe just using one microphone and not even using the receiver, just recording off of the transmitter itself because it's got a built-in recording chip in there. Then I kept thinking, I said, you know, if I can somehow figure out how to do it where it records the audio, good quality audio that is, directly onto the GoPro, that would actually make life easier during the edit time. Granted, it's kind of big on the on the chest mount, but maybe I still have to do that. I think I'm going to try it. And I think I'll do the two mic system because I know down the road I'm going to regret the fact that I didn't have the second mic, and one day I'm going to need it and I won't have it. It's only $100-something more. Hey, you know, you spent that much money, you might as well get it right. Where are we headed? Let's just keep going straight. We've been going straight a lot lately anyway. So I think that's going to need to be upgraded. Then I kept thinking too, is it time to get an additional GoPro as a backup? Here's why I kept thinking about this one. The last time I recorded something, the thing is the GoPro batteries tend to swell. Yeah, you know, whenever you think about swelling batteries, you kind of think like, okay, that thing's gonna explode, right? Yeah, you never know, it might. But because the GoPros always overheat, I think it makes the battery swell because of that, because it's really hot. Well, it got to the point where it swelled so much. Let's turn here. It swelled so much that, you know, if you know the GoPros, there's a little plastic tab on the top of the battery. It's just a little plastic tab. I'm talking like, kind of looks like those tabs that you put as a marker of like, hey, that's the page you should turn to. You know what I'm talking about? Little tab markers for books where you mark the pages with it. It's kind of like that. I mean, it's a cheap plastic tab that you use to pull the battery out because there's no way to get the battery out unless you have something like that to help grab. Well, that thing broke off of the battery, so now all of a sudden I can't get the battery out. I was like, am I gonna have to buy another battery? I said, beyond that, do I need another camera? Wow, this is really windy. Let's turn here. Maybe the wind will be sounding less. I don't know. Certain directions the wind sounds less than other directions. So I was thinking, if I can't get the battery out, do I need another camera? Because if you can't get the battery out, the camera's essentially worthless. It'll never power up again, right? So I tried everything. I put a really thin blade from a pocket knife, tried to pry it out, and of course it's just ruining the battery like crazy. So I decided, let me Google it. Somebody's got to have some solution how to get a battery out of a GoPro. There was a solution. Yeah, somebody posted it up on YouTube. Here's how you do it. You cut some plastic. We're talking like, I don't know, like any plastic container that has a flat piece of plastic, okay? Cut 2 of these plastics and slide it on either side of the battery in the GoPro. Then grab the 2 plastics together and pull, and sure enough, the battery comes out. It's almost like that plastic gives it a little bit of friction, and that's enough to grab it and pull it out. So now those 2 little plastic things that I cut out of, it was actually out of a lettuce container that I got from Costco, Costco lettuce. That is now permanently in my bag in case these batteries ever get stuck again. I now have something I could use to pull the battery out. Yeah, crazy. So what did I do with the other battery that was messed up? Well, I fixed it. The plastic top that cracked off of it, I crazy glued it together, put the little tab back in there, and then I taped it all down. So now it's actually pretty good. Yeah, hopefully it doesn't come out messed up, that is. Hopefully the battery comes out. Hopefully it doesn't, the pull tab doesn't come out of it. So I don't have to replace the battery, I can still use that battery. All right. But I feel I need to buy some additional batteries. Yeah, I've got 3 batteries now. I do rotate through all 3 batteries. And, my videos are kind of long. They're not short rides, they're long rides, and I keep you going with me the entire time. That's how it keeps me interesting. Keeps me interested, I should say, in continuing to ride. I have someone to talk to. And so I kept thinking, I need some better batteries. They make some better batteries that handle better cold weather and the like. It's not a big deal for me, but hey, might as well get the better ones. I think I'll get another 2 or 3 more batteries, just in case. I don't know what the batteries are. How much are they? $30, $35? I don't know, something like that each. Got to get a new audio recorder thing, audio microphone system. And I'm gonna try to get that GoPro media mod and try that. See if I need to use it, I have it. If I don't need to, well, it's a backup thing for something. So you spend this much money, might as well spend it all. So how much is all this going to cost me? I'm going to estimate I'm going to be spending close to about $600. Something like that. Now I know a lot of you guys who are just starting out and starting to record your own things, you don't need to go to this extent. Really, you don't. But when you get to a certain point, and I make a lot of videos. I make at least like 4 videos a week. Not having the products you need to make it easier for yourself is just more of a pain than it is to just spend the money and get the right stuff, right? And that money comes back to you eventually. Eventually, it does. It comes back to you eventually. I've always told Mrs. Wright it's just the cost of doing business. She hates me when I say that because she says, no, it isn't. It's just because you want the stuff. Yeah, I want the stuff, but I want to make it easier for myself too. I don't want to be suffering through the things. And usually when I get the stuff, it usually comes out better. I'm just hoping that the sound quality is as good as the Shure microphone that I'm using now. And lately I've been noting that the Shure microphone has more wind noise than it had in the past. I don't know why that is. Maybe the windscreen that I'm using right now is too loose or something. Maybe it's too old. Maybe I need to replace the windscreen with a new one. I have no idea. But I've noticed the wind noise is higher. Now, it doesn't mean that if I switch to this other unit, it's going to have less wind noise. It might actually have more. I don't know how good their noise rejection is, but they supposedly have a noise reduction circuit in the transmitter that will cut out some of the additional noises. Now, if that's truly the case, and it sounds like it might, that'd be nice. The only problem is that usually those type of things have artifacts So the audio may not sound exactly the same as we hear it now. And I know tonality-wise, it's not as good as the mic I'm currently using. I know that for a fact. I've heard it when people have said, okay, now we're using that microphone, and I've heard the quality. It doesn't match to what I have here. But if it solves me not throwing away footage because I've had audio problems, then it's worth it. And then maybe I could just equalize it to make it sound better. And that's fine. I have no problems doing that. I wish I had more powerful equalization circuits on my computer. You know, as a former forensic audio guy, I had a lot of powerful tools at my disposal. They were mostly PC based. As you know, I'm mostly Mac based now. So I don't know if I have to pull out something and use a PC to fix the audio, and then it's a lot of extra work on that part to make it sound better. So there's good and there's bad. All right, so why are we going out today? Why are we doing this one today? I wanted to talk a little bit about what I've noticed as far as some manufacturers when they've been in contact with me, and some who have not been in contact with me but they should be in contact with me. And how all that works, okay? Now, there's a manufacturer who's been interested in me reviewing their e-bike. So we've been in communications, but I haven't heard much from them in the last couple months, really. And so I'm kind of looking at this and going, well, if they're not really communicating with me, and they say that they're interested in using me to review their bike, what does that tell me about the manufacturer? Are they worth reviewing? Are they worth dealing with, right? I have manufacturers that are halfway around the world that are with communications with me all the time. I mean, all the time. And then there's others that are around that don't communicate with you for months, even though they said they're interested, and then you don't hear anything from them. So I don't know. I've gotten to the point where I just figured, hey, you know, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And then as a consumer, you know, I think having manufacturers who communicate with you and take your questions seriously and respond back, that's a kind of important thing. That is. And I know a lot of the companies don't. A lot of them, they don't communicate with you as well as they should, right? I'm not saying that all the manufacturers I work with communicate with all their customers. Sometimes I hear stories where sometimes some of the companies that I've worked with may not be communicating with you as they should as well. And that kind of irritates me when I see that. Sorry. I had an itch again. Whenever I have an itch, I got to reach across, and that messes up the video. So I apologize on their behalf for that. But let me say something else. I don't work for these companies, okay? I don't. I am not an employee of them. I have no communications other than whenever they want me to review a bike or something. I have no say in the matter if there's something that goes wrong. And I know a lot of the viewers will contact me and asking me what can I do. I tell them I don't know what you can do. And I know a lot of them are trying to ask me to jump in there and, you know, plead their case to the manufacturers. And let me say, I really don't want to do that, and I really can't do that, because the guys I talk to are the guys that deal with the influencers. They're not customer service. So I really have no pull one way or the other as far as getting you more attention from the manufacturer than you yourself can actually do. So on occasion, however, though, I have actually tried where I've asked the influencer contact and say, do you know the guy that handles this? Can you check it? Sometimes they have, sometimes they have not. Okay, so just to let you know that Although I don't like to do it, sometimes I have done it just because I kind of felt sorry for the guy. And so I said, let me see if there's anything they will do. I don't know if they help you or they don't, because the other people usually never get back to me and tell me that it worked out for them or it didn't. So yeah, so don't send me those requests, okay? Because I really have no say in the matter when it comes to that stuff. I mean, if I was an employee of the company, it'd be another story. I'm not. I'm just a guy who makes videos, all right? An interesting thing, though, is people find out this is what you do, and they're always so impressed that, oh, companies give you stuff and everything. And I go, well, they don't just give it to you. They expect stuff from you, too. They do. They expect you to make a video. They expect it done a certain way. Some will want to review the video before you publish it, which I don't have a problem with. I don't mind letting them see the video before it gets published. The hard part, though, is when companies tell you what to say. Yeah, I don't like dealing with companies like that, where they tell you this is what you will say. No, I won't do that. Now, after they review the video, they might find something that says, are you sure about this? You know, or can you tone that part down a little bit? And that's where it becomes a little bit difficult sometimes. Sometimes you don't want to tone it down. And other times you say, well, okay, I see your point, you know, in which case you can get your idea across, but don't keep harping on the same thing over and over, right? So, yeah, where are we going here? Let's see. Yeah, we'll take a right. Have to wait for this traffic to get through, though. So I don't have a problem letting the companies review the videos before they're released. I think that's okay. Sometimes they will give you some feedback on stuff that maybe you didn't think about. So maybe you have to addendum it, add something to it, right? It's okay. That part I okay. But when if the company tells you this is what you'll say and this is what you will not say, that's another story. Okay, that's another story. I've actually had manufacturers, and this is not e-bike manufacturers. This is just some other companies who are trying to get your attention to promote their products that not even e-bike related, but they'll actually tell you, you know, you cannot show other products with our product at the same time. So they don't really want you to compare products, right? They don't want their products compared to something else. Cannot promote any other products beside our product during the review. Okay, I see that point. And then they'll also tell you that you will make changes as we tell you the changes need to be made. Now there you go. That's when you go, sorry, we're not doing this product. Now I wasn't never going to do those products anyway, but just reading that just irks me. Wouldn't that irk you? Or it just kind of says, okay, they're basically saying, you'll say what we want you to say. It's not worth it. So yeah, you got to have good communications with the people you work with, but you also don't want to be working with people who are demanding of you, so, or people who don't even respond to you after you ask them questions. Yeah, you want to be sure you're working with people who you feel comfortable with, right? Now, recently, I did a review of a watch. You might have seen. Actually, it's now we've done 2 smartwatches. Yeah, somebody's putting up a roof. I'm always nervous going by roofing projects because, yeah, usually when you get a flat, it's from a roofing nail. Yeah, be careful of those guys. Any of these look at all these projects going on. There's another guy doing his whole roof. It's got a tarp over it. So anyway, where were we? Yeah, the smartwatches, right? Yeah, well, doing the second smartwatch, it was a less expensive product, than the first smartwatch. I already thought the first smartwatch was pretty low in price at $149. This one was on sale for $79.99. If you didn't watch that video, go watch it. So I had questions, you know, throughout the entire review process. I had questions. I was in contact with that what do you want to call them? Influencer handler? I was in contact with that person throughout the entire time before the review even came on. I had questions. I said, how does this work? What does this do? Why is it doing like this? You know, they answered all my questions. This is a $79 product, and yet they took the time to answer the questions. So that impressed me. That told me, oh, this company actually is interested enough to actually, you know, answer questions on a fairly inexpensive product. I was bugging them all day long. Why does it do this? How come it works like this? They come back and they'd answer the question. So that's a company I felt, they're actually pretty nice to work with. So, and I said at the end of the review, I hope they give me another one, because they have a lot of watches. They don't have just the one. They have a lot of different smartwatches. Some of them are even cheaper than the one that I did. Most of them are actually. I actually would like to see how those work. But they have one product that I really would like to try. I think if they ever contact me back and say, let's do another, I'm going to ask them for that one. It's actually the most expensive one that they have. I think that one sells for about $149. But it's an interesting one because the watch band, I think they call it an airbag. Think about it now. Blood pressure airbag is what they're trying to say, okay? Sometimes the English is not so good, right? On the websites. What they're saying is that the watch band is kind of like the arm cuff on a blood pressure device where it pumps up and then takes the reading. Think about that. And then think about it applied to a watch band. Think about that. It's kind of like an airbag, isn't it? I think they probably struggled to figure out what to call it as well. But I would like to see how that works. If you use that type of technology against your wrist while you're taking a blood pressure measurement, think about that. That might actually be pretty good. Or it could fail miserably. Right? It could fail miserably. I said in that review, I said, don't trust it for medical advice. They say it too. It's not just me. They have a disclaimer thing in there that says, you know, not to be used as medical advice. It's not a medical instrument. I think it says something to that effect. It's true. They do need to say that, because otherwise people will say, well, that's what the thing said, and I said my blood pressure was good, and your blood pressure's sky high, right? Dogs are always trying to get me. Hear that bark. So, yeah, I think I'd like to try it if they gave me the opportunity to try it. Now, if it fails miserably, I don't know how they'll feel if I have to tell everybody it doesn't work, you know. That would be bad. That would be a bad review for them then, right? That would not be good. But again, I would use the disclaimer that, you know, don't trust it. Don't trust it. Even if it seems to be right, don't trust it. It's not a medical instrument, right? It's more like for fun. I kind of see it. I mean, sometimes it's right, sometimes it's not. So, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, you know, that type of thing. Still fun. Anyway, these are the things that I think about. Things I think about when I try to consider what am I going to, let's take a right over here. As I'm evaluating products to consider bringing in. Now, this is a company I've worked with before, okay? And if they said, yeah, we want you to do another one, if they give it to me, great. If they say, hey, we want you to try one of the $30 items or $40 items, now we're really talking. Now we're talking like, okay, how good can this thing be? We already said that to the $79 watch, right? On sale. You could say it again. How good could this one be? So part of me says we should do that one too. But I think what I would do before accepting something like that is I think I would outright ask them, all right, does this thing really work, or does this thing not really work in comparison to the one that I just did? Because if they say it's kind of iffy, I don't know if I want to do it then. Then to be honest, I would have to really rip that product to shreds. And I don't think they would like that either, right? See? You have to be open to tell them the truth, as I have to be open to tell you the truth about the product. Where am I going here? Where's the... that's not where I want to go. All right, no, let's turn here. I get turned around so quickly. So anyway, that's my thoughts. That's my thoughts on manufacturers and products. Let me know in the comments what you think. Now, you might have had the chance already at this point to see the review of the latest watch. Let me know what you thought about that. Whether you thought that was interesting. Now, these are products that happen on Anything Goes Mondays, remember? Yeah, so reviews of those products will only come out on Mondays. That's my hope. Sometimes these companies will ask you, can you release it on a Tuesday or a Wednesday? And I'll tell them, look, my audience kind of knows Mondays is the day for stuff that's not e-bike related. And if we release that on the day that you're asking me to release it, you might not get the viewership that you expect. It's actually true. I mean, if they tell you, do it on a Wednesday, get it out earlier. I don't want to wait until Monday. Okay, if I stuck it there, most of the people won't even know there's a video out. They're not expecting to see a Wednesday Russ is Right video. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, as manufacturers are concerned, yeah, they have to kind of trust with the influencer as to when the best release date is actually for their product. So, I mean, I already know certain days more people watch the videos than certain other days. And I picked Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays because it's every other day. It's a little easier for me, and it's easier for everyone to remember. Every other day is going to come out, right? Mondays turns into a anything goes type video where we put whatever I feel like talking about. It could be a product, could be anything. And then sometimes we do a bonus video on Fridays, right? That's how it's always been for the last year or so, and that's where I think all of our viewers kind of expect to see. Okay. I'm looking around trying to decide which way I should go. I think I'll take a left at the next stop sign or something. All right. Anything else to tell you guys for today? I've been out on the road quite a bit today. Yeah, we didn't want to do that. Okay, I remember we did this once before, and I was like, how did I end up on this street? All right, we're going to turn around. Anyone around? Nobody's around. Okay, we're going to make a U-turn here. Hey. A U-turn from Russ is Right. That's a rarity in itself. See, aren't you glad you stuck around? You got to see the U-turn. Put a comment if you stuck around and watched the U-turn. No, I don't usually do U-turns on fat tire bikes. It's kind of hard to do. But the 20-inch fat tire bike's a little bit easier to do. Yeah, this is the Ocelot Pro from Magicycle that I'm riding. And so it's a little bit more nimble than a 26-inch tire bike. So I can do it. Alrighty, put some comments below. Let me know what you think about all this mess. More videos to come, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. And then Mondays, anything goes. Talk to you guys next time.